What do you want to talk about?
Well, we purchased the treasure chest. I'm looking to figure out how to use it. Can you hear me? Yes? No?
Yeah, now I can. Good.
All
I just
right.
had to put this in there, so
That's
you
okay.
got it. Now we're in great shape.
Oh my.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on there. Yeah.
Well, thank you for making time for me.
Hey, Kim, she loves your theme boxes. Monica says her favorite video is you and Don. Look at her. Look at her shy little face. Open the door, babe. Open the door. Come on. She loves your theme box. She's like, you and Don, like that was inspiring, and so forth. So.
Awesome. If you want to move your business to the next level, the treasure chest is it.
Well, hello to you.
Hello.
Monica, you are in North Carolina.
That is correct.
New Bern or Greenville? Where are you located?
I'm actually in Vanceboro, which is in between the two. Both of mine,
Okay.
I have a school in New Bern and a school in Greenville.
Okay, wonderful. How far apart are they?
About 35 minutes.
And you live right in the middle?
Yeah, I planned it that way.
Yeah, good. No, that's good. So hopefully each day you either go left or right when you pull out of your street.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's literally a straight shot either way.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you for making time for me.
Oh, sounds good. No, happy to. What do you want to talk about?
Well, we purchased the treasure chest.
Okay.
And so I'm looking to figure out how to use it. I mean, I have watched your videos and I know that there's the videos in Trello. But when I just started tinkering around with it a little bit, I just saw that some things weren't translating. And there is the capture that says you can only change what's in blue. And so
Okay.
I didn't want to destroy the document. Even though I know I can always copy a new version, but I didn't want to have to do work. So I was glad to see that you had the 1-hour consultation after making the purchase. So we're here to just kind of go through that and just kind of give me some tips and pointers on how to use it.
Well, good for you. How many classrooms are you looking to get this dialed in for one center in particular first?
Yes, I am.
All right, so we're going to Greenville.
Mm-hmm.
And have you entered any children's information or anything like that in there yet?
I think I started putting the children's name in. I work really late at night sometimes for these like little light projects because I have your old treasure chest as well.
Okay.
But this one says 2022 1.0.
Okay.
January 13th. Okay, so this is the right one. So the question that you asked about any children's names in it, no. I don't think I said the names in it.
Do you want to share that with me real quick? And then let's look at it together and figure out kind of where we're at and where we want to go.
Before we actually get in here, because I remember actually.
How many classrooms does Greenville have?
6.
Okay.
Let's just start where we are in this document. Because I think all I did was added names. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got it. I am going to share my screen with you then. Now you can see this, and I've retitled it Greenville Center Management Tool. How's that sound?
Yes.
Okay, we'll leave it there for now. Got it. So right now we're set up with, we're going to make this our toddler room, and we're going to change this one here. We're just going to go down here and change the name. Do you have a name for your infant room? You can rename this later, but.
No, we don't.
Okay, great. We're just going to call that, infants.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. And then you can go in here and change the name of that here also. And then you can begin typing their names in here. This tool is set up just to hold one placeholder per day per child. Is that good for you? You didn't mention any school agers, like before school, after school. Do you have part-time kids? Do you have 2 kids that sit in the same seat in the same day?
Everyone's full-time.
Perfect. So this is the great this is the tool we want to do. There's so much that you can change, but I know the tendency of thinking, oh man, we want to be very careful, right? So infants 10, no problem. You won't need all of these placeholders here. So we could just grab a bunch of them and delete them just like that, kind of shrink our numbers down there a little bit, right? I'm going to delete all these comments. You'll put your own in there when you need to. And at this point, we could begin building our first kiddo. And that's nice, of course, and it comes Monday through Friday, right? And what's Jerry's birthday? I'm going to double click this and it pulls up my calendar. So that's kind of nice too. But in this case, so we're going to go 21. Yeah, so some cells, right, you have to type in the date. A lot of ours with the date, you just double click and it'll pull up a calendar for you.
Nice.
So, and if I'm doing a fresh one, double click here and so we've in there Monday through Friday. We've got the date. We don't need any notes, and it all automatically puts Jerry's name over here Monday through Friday. This is what we like to print off for our teachers because they typically don't want all of this. They just want to know, I just want a list of my kiddos and what days they're coming so I can be like, oh, they're here, they're here, they're here. This one's not coming here today because mom told me they're on vacation and so forth. So I'm just kind of cleaning this up and we'll delete all of this coding here and this coding here.
We have some children that have fallen off, and that's why this is perfect for us to start using this tool right now because we're in a rebuilding stage. So we want to make sure when we build correctly.
If you want to change the color, some of our classrooms have certain color codes. Do yours?
No.
What's the color? No. Got it.
Yeah.
So you can change the color if you'd like. So now we can go to the toddler classroom. All right. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of clean this up. Okay. All of that can be deleted and cleaned up. In fact, all the birthdays can be cleaned up.
Okay.
And there's some things up here that I use. You can change any of this up here that you like. If there's tracking that you're wanting to use, you can absolutely change all that. So now we're ready for you to add more kiddos in there.
And so when we do the new child insert copy above, is this like a typical Excel spreadsheet where you just, right click and then insert a new
I'm
row?
going to show you. Let's say, so right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have 12 toddlers, right? So we need 6 more toddlers to go in there. I think what I would do, I would start here and grab 6. I could grab 6 more cells. I'm going to hit Shift, click, and it's going to grab all those. I'm going to right click and I'm going to insert. That was 8 rows above. That's fine.
Okay.
And then I'm going to click over here. I'm going to click number 27. I'm going to hit Control C. I'm going to click on 14. I'm going to hold the Shift, click on 21, and Control V, which is paste. Control C and Control V. And I'll just delete those names in there real quick. So those are all ready to go in there. And this is what you were saying, like I just hit Control C. And if I go right click and if I go Control, if I paste, it's just going to go over that line. But what we really want to do is insert and then paste a new kiddo in there.
Okay.
And this, what it just did right there, how it didn't align it properly, that's just kind of a Google, kind of a crazy Google thing. So sometimes I just back up one step, do a clean copy and paste. And that's why I like to grab however many cells I really want. And then I like to create that first. And then I'll copy this and then I'll paste right over the top of all those.
Okay.
And that's ready to go.
Okay. It's making sense now. There are fields that you do need to change in order for the data to calculate.
Yeah. You need to add their schedule. And in your case, if they're all Monday through Friday, then you've got to put in that Monday through Friday. If I'm only adding from this cell F11 down to F23, now if I go ahead and I add a child because their last name is Abigail and I put them in there, it may not add them in there. Look at that. See, it's not working. It's really important to make sure the range goes above the first child and below the second child, below the last child.
Row 41, the on deck circle, I'm sure that means something in your organization.
Yeah, and you can delete that. That means that I have a waiting list of kiddos trying to get in.
Okay, no, all of this makes perfect sense now. So how does it translate over to the center tools? So
Okay,
the next question I had was around that and inputting the teachers.
perfect. Let's take a look at that. So here's our center tools, and we just built these rooms. So we'll need to clean this up a little bit. And here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to have Chicky come behind us and clean this all up.
Okay.
Okay. You get rid of my acronyms on here, make this your own.
Okay.
Because once it starts looking like yours, it'll feel like yours and it'll be better. Okay.
So the number, what is that? The maximum capacity where it says 70, where can we change that number to our license capacity?
Okay. You told me that infants are 10, Todd's are 12 and 12, twos are 16, early pre-K 17, pre-K is 15.
Correct. So when I see something like that, let's say we add on some additional classrooms, we decide to do school age, then we would just go in and change that formula to include line 12.
And I just did.
Okay.
I went from D5 to D12, so it's ready for you to do that. If you're going to add on additional classroom, a school age classroom, and you need help, reach out. We can make changes with you and help you in the future. And we'll do that at a fee, but it'll be a very reasonable fee.
Yeah, and then it also it's worth it because then you get a full picture of what's happening in your program.
Yeah, you got it.
So the projected gross revenue would be based on the number of children we have in the classroom, and as we add the children, then those numbers will automatically change.
Correct. So right now, you said 85. I've got 82 when I add those numbers together. So I'm wondering if one of your classrooms is licensed for a bigger number, but because of ratios, you run it with these numbers.
Yeah, so we just went through our star rating, and because of our administrator's education, in order for us to get the 5-star rating, we had to do enhanced ratio and enhanced space. So that's temporary for right now. We hope to be able to go in the next month or two back to our original license capacity, which is 99. We have a project to expand one of our classrooms. We'll probably get up to maybe 110.
Wonderful. Yeah, so and it's not uncommon. As you plug in your rates and you plug in your CCAP rates or your NC Fast rates, simply by modifying this right here, that little piece right there changes your projected revenue.
Are there any calculations well, this is projected in terms of the food program if the child is there every single day? Because of course with tuition, we get paid whether they're there or not, but with—
You got it.
Okay, so does it take into account for that, or you have to add some type of range, maybe look at maybe a child missing 5 days possibly out of the month and calculate that in? On
line 11, here's CACFP food reimbursement. This is a number that you can change. So this is a number that you can just arbitrarily throw in there. You can run some calculations and figure out how many, and then you can change that.
And so these other numbers here, let's see, that are blank, you can actually add those numbers in. Like
absolutely.
Yeah. You can just add. The next item was the teacher pay and salary, how to make sure that that information was in accurately. Was it the payroll review? Do I kind of copy and paste those fields down into the different classrooms or different categories?
Yeah, so this is going to be, because we haven't entered any teachers, we haven't entered any payroll. So this is all going to be new entries here. I'll have Chicky, she'll clean up all of these, so all the names of all of our classrooms are the same. So this is, it's a nice grouping. And if I insert someone right in the middle of that, it's just going to add them into that group.
Okay.
So I try to always insert in a range. I need to copy and paste the formulas that were in these other ones over here. Just pay attention when you're manipulating and see if numbers are changing or not, if they should or shouldn't change.
I see that these documents are in black and white. Can you explain what the purpose of those documents are and how you would suggest that they're used?
For CACFP, we have to take attendance. We have to know which kids are sitting down and offered a meal. That's the standard. Would you agree?
That is
They don't have to eat their food because we are not going to make a child eat their food. We're going to encourage them to eat their food and try new things. So that's how we differentiate a child that sits for a meal. So the beautiful thing is that you don't have to maintain this. You don't have to create this. You don't have to type in their names. Okay. It's all automated.
Can this sheet then tie back into your revenue for the food program?
This sheet is not going to tie back in there, but that's only going to give you for 1 week. And I think that's a tremendous amount of work. I think the purpose of this sheet for us has been a couple-fold. Number one, it absolutely meets the requirements of CACFP.
Okay.
It's an easy way for it to meet those requirements for us.
How would we, if we decided we wanted to do a second shift, how would that filter into all of this wonderfulness in this workbook?
If they're not in that same room, because maybe that's a napping area, so where you can overlap your shifts, is that kind of what you have in mind?
Yes.
There's something like that going on, then either we can maybe create a different classroom or a sub classroom. I think if you drew that out on a piece of paper where I could really grasp like where those kids are going, are they shifting to another classroom? We might have to micromanage our classroom a little bit differently, like I do, because Monday has 5 time slots for me.
Okay.
For kiddos in the morning, kiddos morning preschool, lunch, afternoon preschool, after school. So we could do something like that as well. So I think we just need a little bit more definition, because that's not infants and toddlers. That's early pre-K and pre-K possibly, or even just pre-K. Thank you. I've had such a great time with you, Monica. I learned a lot. I love that. I'm going to turn this over to my team to help get some things dialed in for us. We'll give that to you anytime, but because we'll have Chicky do a bunch of that for us till you go, I love it. This is right. Once we get it to there, then we'll be able to let you take on over. If you were some IT guru, then you'd be like, I got this, give it to me. We're good, done. But now we can still help you out in big ways. So,
hey, congratulations for making it this far in this video. And if that's you, which obviously it is, you are looking at, can this help me? Obviously, this was an in-depth, one-on-one kind of a workshop with Monica after having purchased a treasure chest, watching lots of videos. So expect the same kind of treatment when you jump into the treasure chest, to be able to figure out exactly what you need, what you want to get started, some help with some customization, make sure you get off on the right path. Thank you for being here. Link in the description below for many resources, including the treasure chest. There's a card up there with some more of that as well. Thanks everybody. Have a marvelous day.